Hey homie, glad you can make it out here to the stream. For the homies that reaches it to you on YouTube, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, early night to you. As y'all can see, we have a drawing that needs to be finished. I'm just the kind of guy to show up to finish it. So, without further delay, let's dive right on in. At the start of the driving, at the start of the drawing session, or before this drawing session started, I was looking at my palm a lot, and looking at my palm so much, it made me think that yeah, I think I might be able to draw a little bit better this session. But let's see. As I get in a comfortable position to make the optimal art, in computer class when you're in school, they say for the sake of your back or your spinal cord, it's important to like sit upright in a chair, have your computer on the desk, so that your spine don't mess up. But when it comes to drawing, though, I feel like, yeah, yeah, I don't follow the rules when it comes to drawing. When it comes to drawing, I just go with whatever is most comfortable. When I'm in a comfortable position, I feel like I make the best art. Of course, if I'm not drawing and I'm just lying around or doing anything else in life, then yeah, I probably have proper posture position, like when I'm gaming or something, to optimize my technique, my battle technique. But when it comes to creating art, I think being where you're most comfortable is the perfect state. For me, but of course, I'm still only a beginner. After all, I am an eternal student of my own art. So I'll just try and improve little by little, wherever I see a chance of growth. And a save. Although there's a pattern in me drawing a hand, part one, me creating veins in the fingers, part two, and me creating veins in the arm, part four, I think I've gotten to a point where my technique has reached its pattern stage. My source, I made it up. Yeah, what I mean by pattern stage is like whenever you do something in life, like multiple times, you create this thing called a pattern. Once patterns are created, people, the perceptive folk, are able to read your pattern. That is a skill known as pattern recognition. A very important skill as a human to learn. The skill, I mean, can you learn this skill? Yes. Anybody that is alive can learn this skill. And I mean anyone, any soul. They don't even have to be human to be able to recognize a pattern. But why I say this is that whenever you can recognize a pattern, sometimes if you're skilled enough and your skills are compatible, you can recreate that pattern. For instance, let's say I really like chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A. And maybe, I don't know, this is just purely for teaching purposes, this example. Let's say I go to Chick-fil-A once a week. And every time I go to my local Chick-fil-A once a week, I order the same thing. Maybe a spicy deluxe, which is basically a chicken sandwich. You know, fried chicken, lettuce, tomato. And me personally, I like pepper jack cheese. But that's a personal preference. Everybody got their own. And let's say the entire 1 year that I go to that Chick-fil-A, I only order that one chicken sandwich order. Then everybody that's a local at that Chick-fil-A that works there, that's when their pattern skill reacts whenever I show up. It's like, oh, they see me. Since we well-mannered individuals, we'll greet each other. And when I get to ordering, anybody that's recognizes me and recognizes the pattern in my order, they'd be like, oh, are you here to order the same chicken sandwich that you order every time? That's an example of pattern recognition, you know? You do something so much that folks are able to predict that you're going to do it before you even do it. Another example of this awesome skill known as pattern recognition is like, let's say, oh, by the way, I'm just speaking because makes me happy as I draw. Activates my dopamine. I think, yeah, I'm no scientist, but like I think that basically makes people happy in their brain. But another example for pattern recognition is like, let's say you enter a square room, and like in the back right of that square room, you have a trash can. Yes. Actually, no. I don't like. Let's say a library. Yeah, I like that example better. In the back right of your square room, you have a library. If you lived in that room for like, if you lived in that room for, let's say, a few months, maybe a few weeks, and you never change the position of that library, then even if you walk into that room blindfolded, because you recognize the pattern of where your library is in that room, you could probably walk into it completely blindfolded and find your way to that library because you recognize the pattern of like where the library should be in that room. A way to break that pattern would be like, yeah, if you walk into that room like you usually do, then instead of the library being there, somebody external removed the library. So even if you walk in blindfolded, normally it should be right there. But the moment you reach for a book from that library, it's like, what? Where is it? Because, you know, the pattern got broken since it got removed. Why am I sharing this knowledge? No reason. Let's see. I guess I randomly made a company. I guess I was talking with one of my friends a few years ago, and I randomly made a company for reasons. And the mission statement of that company when I was talking to that friend that I really liked was to educate and entertaining, easy to understand way. So I guess I'm trying to bring to everybody's attention how important it is to learn what pattern recognition as a skill is, you know? It's also how gamers are able to fight each other. Let's say your gaming friend busts out is spamming the same move in a fighter game. They're hitting you with nothing but heavies. And once you got the timing of a heavy down, if they launch a heavy again, then neutralizing the heavy is doable. But if they break the pattern in while you expect them to throw out a heavy, they throw out a light, which comes out a little bit faster, then that might be very difficult to react to in that situation. Only in that situation until you adapt. Like Maharaga. This is some guy known as the Shining General. Basically, you gotta destroy him. It's from this anime called Jujutsu Kaisen. Basically, his whole gimmick is like, yeah, if you don't, the only way to destroy him completely is like to completely annihilate him with an attack that he's never seen before. You use the same attack on him more than once. Like for instance, you use an attack on him and it doesn't like completely destroy him. You use that exact same move, it's just gonna become more ineffective until it just completely gets nullified. It's like if you hit some. It's like if you hit somebody with a flamethrower, but it doesn't do like it doesn't kill him. For him, it's like yeah, you hit me with a flamethrower again. Yeah, basically that flamethrower is as light as a lighter at that point to him until it just completely just doesn't work on him no more. Then you reach that level of then he'll reach that level of flipping tortillas on the stove without with just your hand. Pretty sure there's some folk that have been cooking for so long, tortillas or flipping for tortillas after you cook them, that can relate to that. But I'll let that Easter egg be for whoever has that skill in life that let them to have that skill. Honestly, instead of talking so much, I should really probably focus on my art and creating a solid technique, solid enough to be able to replicate for future drawing sessions. But you know, I kind of just enjoying myself. When you enjoy yourself and you're comfortable in a situation, you kind of talk. Nah, you don't kind of talk. I kind of talk when I enjoy myself in a situation. Nah, then I'll probably just sit back and observe the room, listen to everything going on, as the humble story collector that I am. Oh my, while just talking and randomly drawing some lines, it looks like, due to my past drawing session, I'm seeing my own drawing pattern when drawing the palm, which is cool because a few minutes ago, I didn't think I had it. I didn't think I had a pattern so consistent that I can copy it into a future drawing session. Don't mind me. Just entering my flow state by Miyamoto Musashi. Hmm. It's interesting. The first time I learned about pattern recognition was when I was in a fighter video game. I'm not gonna name drop which fighter. Actually, yes, I will name drop. Yeah, I first learned about pattern recognition when I was in League of Legends. Ah, yes, wonderful times in my life. Only issue is I hate playing that video game. As fun as it is, it takes so much time and energy to get out of a match. Imagine you spend an hour like 60 minutes in a single match in League of Legends and you lose. Yeah, that freaking sucks. Especially when you wanna, yeah, but let's not end on the L type mentality. Yeah, the type mentality of how you're staying up to like 5, 6 a.m. hours after you wanted to go to bed. Just get that win. I ain't gonna lie though, sometimes it'd be worth it. That's an interesting drawing. Have I created this pattern in the drawing before? Palm wise? Nah. But I love it. I love how different it looks. So I'll keep it. I'll save and then I'll keep. Homie, appreciate you accompanying me for my little drawing sesh. We made it to our check marking goal. For homies on YouTube, whenever this reaches you, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night to you. Appreciate you spending time to check out what we up to. Homie, I appreciate you very dearly. Peace out, homie.